Okay, excellent. Then good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming this afternoon to the Northampton License Commission, Wednesday, November 20th, 4 p.m. I will call this meeting to order. And present this afternoon is myself, Natasha Yakovlev, and our new commissioner joining us today, Amy Cahalane. Thank you so much, Amy, for your willingness to serve on this commission.
Happy to be here, Natasha.
And particularly today, because we're down one other commissioner, so it's very helpful. This meeting is being Zoom recorded. And do we have anybody here for general public comment? Seeing no hands, we'll jump right in. Item number 3, we have a public hearing on an application for a new annual wine and malt general on-premise license for Harvey's One-Up Arcade, LLC, DBA Hometown Arcade, 150 Main Street, Suite 040. The proposed manager is Christopher Crone, and I will make a motion to open the public hearing.
I will second.
Excellent. And
I need a roll call on that. Sorry.
oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Natasha
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Okay. And do we have Christopher here or somebody for the arcade? Hello. Annie will unmute you in just a sec.
Okay, there it is.
Hi there. How are you?
Hey, how are you? Good,
Thank
thank you. Hello, Madam Chair and Commissioner Cahalane and Ms. Lesko. Thank you very much. My name is Dennis Quilty, and I am an attorney representing the applicant before you this afternoon. I can see Matt Snow, who's one of the owner-operators, is on board. Matt and his wife, Shelley Bonsall Snow, are the co-owners. Christopher Crone is the manager of record. I hope he's with us, Matt. I can't see him, but I presume he's here this afternoon.
Dennis, he's having a little bit of trouble joining the Zoom. He'll be on in 1 second.
Okay. Madam Chair, is it all right for us to proceed and we'll
yes.
put him on as soon as he gets here?
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us tonight, this afternoon rather. The application before you is, of course, for a new general on-premise beer and wine license for the space on Main Street, which is part of the Thorns Marketplace. And this originated for the applicant when he and they were reached out to by the landlord, the owner operators of the space, having heard of Matt and his group's business in Norwood, Mass, doing business under the same title, with the same style of operation and the like. As the name would indicate, an arcade with various video and arcade games. And by the way, we did actually get a filing into the commission for our automatic amusement device application, which was filed today. I'm sorry for that late filing, but it's in front of you for your review. So they reached out to this group because of their success in Norwood. They have another location actually in New Jersey, Bloomfield, New Jersey, but the Norwood one, obviously in the Commonwealth, was known to the landlord, and they reached out, and the Snow Group was agreeable to making an application. They're very excited and looking forward to coming to Northampton and operating their arcade business. As I suggested, they have a very good record in Norwood, and with the local authorities, with the ABCC. They are an arcade-driven business, if you will, with amusement devices and the like, very family-friendly. Their hours of operation are quite reasonable, closing hours of 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday only. They hope, obviously, to be able to provide malt and wine beverages as part of the overall enjoyment of the scene in a similar way to what they do presently in Norwood. They hope to be able to partner up with local purveyors, a food truck or such kind of opportunity for food service, which would be very casual and not they're not requesting a CB license, but they would, if possible, if the town regulations allow, would like to provide some kind of, food vendor operation or ability, with their operations. So I think we've given you in the application, the square footage, the seating capacity. We're still kind of waiting a determination from the architect and the town as to what the final capacity would be, but whatever number the town affixes to it will be what we request, obviously. Numbers of entrances, exits are stated, the general description is stated. I think, other than the fact that they, as I suggested, they've applied for the AAD license, which obviously is an important part of their business. We're just delighted with the great interest that's been shown. We've been aware of the great, local press, both in, television, radio, newspaper, and the like. And we're just very much looking forward to coming to Northampton and operating our business in this very prime location on Main Street. And I guess with that, I just would love to be able to introduce Matt to introduce himself on behalf of the group, and then we'd be happy to take any of your questions if that's appropriate. Good. Thank you, ma'am. Matt, please take the stand.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Dennis. And Chris also joined. He's the phone number in the list of attendees. But I don't really have too much to add. I think Dennis kind of covered everything. But happy to answer any questions or anything like that. We're definitely just looking forward to being part of the Northampton community. The Thorn space is a really great space with a lot of history. The space that we've taken over is the former Acme space, which was in operation for 40 years or something like that. So we're hoping to be a longtime tenant, both at Thorns and in the town of Northampton. Just looking forward to getting started and opening our doors.
Maybe Matt, just a brief description of how things operate in Norwood, what the clientele is like.
Sorry, Dennis, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, just give a brief description of what the business operates like on a daily basis in Norwood, what the demographics are, et cetera.
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. So we're open 7 days a week in Norwood. We really kind of cater to all ages. We do a lot of birthday parties. We do bookings for birthday parties on our website. We do a lot of programming with local after school programs like the Norwood Parks and Rec department, the Needham NEDP department, and other kind of area towns. Oftentimes we have buses of school kids kind of show up to the arcade to have some fun after school. Just in terms of our offering for alcohol, it's mostly kind of parents that are looking to just have a beer or a glass of wine while their kids kind of play games, things like that. Again, we're open 7 days a week. We really try to cater to all different age groups and a lot of different families, and those are kind of our core that's kind of our core demographics in terms of our customer base.
Mm-hmm.
I think Matt had indicated to me at one point that they do a lot of work on snow days when such a thing existed. It may exist more likely in Northampton than it does at the other end of the state, but they do a lot of work with like after school programs and boys and girls clubs, et cetera, that kind of work as well. So hopefully it's something that can work well with the public school or school system in Northampton as well.
Sure.
Great.
Well, thank you for investing in Northampton. We've been hearing about this, and there has been an awful lot of press about it, and so we're excited to have you. And I'm curious about physically, what is the space going to be like? Is there going to be a bar where beer and wine would be served? What is that service like, and what types of controls do you have from keeping beer and wine from leaving that space? Because I don't know what, I haven't been downstairs in Thorns in a while, so I'm not sure what types of renovations have happened, but previously that was an open entryway into the Acme store.
Yeah, so there's now a set of glass doors that separates the former Acme space from the rest of Thorns.
Yep.
So it's, you know, it's very well kind of divided up with the glass doors.
Okay.
You know, we are planning on having a kind of a small bar at one end of you know, the space. You know, that area also would kind of be divided up from the rest of the kind of the gaming area as well. I think the bar I think was on the floor plan. I think that we
Okay.
shared with you guys. But yeah, the glass doors and definitely you know, we're looking to have a bar space as well.
And will there be tables
Yeah,
to,
there'll be a few tables. We're still kind of finalizing the layout though. There's going to be at least 4 kind of 9-foot long tables.
Okay.
Some like in the bar area and then some at the far other end of the space. And then there's a lot of kind of couches and chairs and things like that as well.
okay. And how many games will you have in that space?
So the current count is 51 games.
That's a lot of
Wow.
fun.
Yeah, that's the number that's on the application, Madam Chair, that was filed.
Excellent.
51. Mhm.
Super. Amy, do you have some questions or comments?
I think you mostly covered it, other than I was curious, knowing you're going until 11 on Friday and Saturday, are any of those hours 21 plus, or is it always kids, families all the time?
So I mean, you know, we're definitely open to having it be 21 plus. You know, other you know, kind of the term like barcade has kind of become you know, a widely used term in the last like few years, and a lot of places kind of changed their programming for like after 8 o'clock to be 21 plus. We're totally, you know, open to that if that's kind of the preferred approach.
I'm not trying to push you in one direction or the other. I was just trying to get a sense of
Good to
what it
know.
was going to look like, you know, at 10 o'clock on a Friday night.
So we would prefer, I mean, because there are, you know, cases where, you know, families might just be having a good time and they might want to stay out a little bit later. We'd prefer to allow them continue to, you know, to continue to play as long as there's adult supervision. You know, we wouldn't allow kids that are 13 or younger to be in there unsupervised, you know, by themselves. But you know, ideally, you know, we wouldn't strictly be 21 plus and you know, have to have people leave. There are places that do have that type of requirement, and it can kind of leave like a bad taste in some customers' mouths, I would say, you know, if they have to leave and they're not ready to leave. So we'd prefer to not have it be 21 plus only, as long as there's supervision for kids that are present.
Thanks.
Okay. And I think that your attorney touched on this, but is Christopher, he currently works in the Norwood store, or he's,
Yes.
Yeah, he's currently in the Norwood location, but he you know, Chris has 25 years of restaurant and bar experience.
Okay.
He has tip certification and all that kind of stuff. And he would kind of be our bar manager of record for Northampton until we find a permanent person that's based
Okay.
in Northampton.
okay, okay, that's great.
And
Amy-
he's on, it's just his number that's showing up, I think,
Yes,
Sure.
but
yeah, there he is. Amy, anything else?
No other questions.
Annie, are you raising your hand?
Oh, I wasn't, but I do
Oh.
have something. I did just see an hour or so ago, the automatic amusement applications come in, but those aren't on the agenda tonight because
Understood. Yep.
it's too late for that. So also, and we can talk offline, but they came in as a liquor license application when they need to come in as an annual license application for automatic amusement. And I
Okay.
also do think you selected common vic too, but it sounds like you didn't want that.
Right.
So we can talk offline and figure out
Okay.
how to.
All right, I'm sorry, we were, actually today when we were on a little bit of a prep call, it dawned on me that we needed to file that and hadn't, so we kind of rushed through. I will make sure that we get the proper paperwork filed and we'll stand by for whatever process you require for us, to come back to be heard on that application and.
Yeah, they'll have to come back. You'll have to be back at the December meeting.
When do you plan to open?
Well, we were hoping to open sooner rather than later, but I mean, I guess if we need to have, the amusement license in place, we would, obviously wait until we have the right, licensing in place and things like
Yeah.
that.
So you guys can talk to Annie offline about what's needed, and
Okay.
we want to get you open as quickly as possible. So I wouldn't want to delay it until December because then you'd be missing a huge chunk of the holidays.
That'd be really helpful.
Yeah, so
And my apologies for the late filing.
okay, it's
We'll get
okay.
it straightened out and then
Yeah.
we'll deal directly with Ms. Lesko and, see if we can get it refiled properly so that we can be heard as soon as you allow us to, and then they could open without the alcohol portion of this while that goes to the ABCC.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. Yeah, I'd be very open to having a special meeting for the arcade piece so that you can
That's very nice of
maximize
you.
your presence with a lot of people downtown during the holidays.
Yeah,
That's
very
great.
nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, then, is there any public comment for this hearing? Seeing none, if we're all set, I will make a motion to close the public hearing for commissioner discussion.
I'll second.
And Amy
Yes.
and Natasha.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I have no issues, Amy, with any of this. I think this sounds like a heck of a lot of fun.
Sounds great.
Yep.
I have none either.
All right, then would you like to make the motion to vote this forward?
Sure, if you can cut me some grace on my first motion
Absolutely.
and figuring
No,
out
I don't
how
want to put you in the hot seat. either.
No. Oh, I'm here. I'm living in the hot seat. I will make a motion to approve the application for a new annual wine and malt general on-premises license filed by Harvey's One Up Arcade LLC, DBA Hometown Arcade.
I will second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
excellent.
Awesome. All right, we'll see you guys again soon.
Okay, thank you so
very
much. Really appreciate
Thanks
it.
for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thanks.
Okay, item number 4, application for automatic amusement device licenses. Remember when we never had these on our agendas ever? These licenses, now we have them almost every month. So this is for Think Tank Brewers, LLC, DBA Progression Brewing Company, 9 Pearl Street, for 3 pinball machines. And who do we have this afternoon from Progression?
Hi there, I'm James Fleming.
Hey, James, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good, thank
Great.
you. So you're gonna get some games.
Yes.
Excellent. 3 pinball
I
machines.
think James is the individual supplying Progression with.
Oh, gotcha. You're from the
Yes.
game.
I'm the operator there. Chris McKinney is the manager.
Okay,
There, yep.
okay, great. I don't really have any questions because this is a pretty straightforward thing. Did you want to tell us anything about your games or?
I try to run good pinball machines. I like them. They're a lot of fun. Don't really have much more to say. Sorry.
Are they, no, you don't have to be sorry. Are they vintage machines or are they like a modern pinball machine?
I keep a few modern, well, there's vintage, like 50s, 60s vintage. My wheelhouse is 1990s through today.
Okay, cool.
Great.
Excellent. Amy, any questions or comments?
I have no questions.
All right. Would you like to make a
No,
motion?
I
then?
would love to make a motion. I will make a motion to approve the application for automatic amusement device license filed by Think Tank Brewers LLC, DBA Progression Brewing Company.
I will second.
And Natasha
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Item number 5, application for short-term liquor license for Country Hyundai Incorporated, Saturday, December 14th, from 12 to 4 p.m. at 347 King Street and 361 King Street. This is for the Northampton Rotary Club's Festival of Trees. And it's
Yes.
a wine and malt license being sought.
I think I heard Kayla.
Do we have Kayla? Is Kayla our person?
Yes,
Okay.
she is unmuted.
Oh, okay, great. Hi, Kayla.
I heard her.
Oh, I heard her say something too.
Give her a second to come back online.
She's in the waiting room. Sorry about that. My phone disconnected.
Oh, that's okay. How are you?
Good. How are you? Sorry, I just panicked. I just need to get back. Sorry about that. It like disconnected me from the whole meeting. But this is Kayla. I'm the marketing director at Country Hyundai and Northampton Volkswagen.
Mhm.
So this is our third annual Festival of Trees. We partner with the Rotary of Northampton, and we have probably about 40 trees that will go up. Different businesses will provide the trees, they decorate them, and then people, anybody off the street can come in, buy raffle tickets, and though that goes to the Rotary, and then they put their tickets into a basket, they win the tree. So that's part of it. And then we also have beer and wine and different pop-ups coming as well for this event.
Okay. Do you know who your distributors are yet?
Yes, I off the top of my head, when I submitted the tips application. I would have to go back and look, but it was whatever I had submitted.
Okay, so Annie, do you still?
There wasn't anything submitted for distributors. There was nothing.
Because I think the distributor is the company that's coming.
Okay, do you know the company that's coming?
Yeah, I would have to I'd have to text
Yeah, because
yeah,
we'll just.
I uploaded all the things onto that back end website. Let me just see. So this is the tip certification. Loophole Brewing Company.
Is that, you're all set with that then, Annie? We can check that off.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And will your setup be the same as it has been for the last few times?
Yeah, but we are gonna be going using Northampton Volkswagen too. But if I need to keep the alcohol at one location, I can do that.
Okay, but how did you do it last year? Were you in two locations?
No, we were only in Country Hyundai last year. But Country Hyundai and Northampton Volkswagen's right next to each other.
Yeah.
So we, are gonna do both dealerships, but I can keep the alcohol at one location if I need to.
Annie, will they need to do that? Because the application has both addresses. Does that make it okay for them?
It does have both addresses. If that is okay with the commission, then.
Yeah, I mean, they applied for both. I'm okay with it.
Okay. Yeah, we were trying to make it bigger this year to do both dealerships, and then, have pop-ups that are, selling their goods, a candle person's coming to sell their candles. So we have different pop-ups coming as well to kind of make it, support local as well.
Yep. No, I think that's great. Anything else that you want to add, Kayla?
I don't think so.
Okay. Amy, do you have any questions?
I do not. My only question was on the distributor, but you answered it.
All right. Well, then I think we're all set and ready
Would
for
you like a
motion.
motion?
Yes, please.
I would like to make a motion to approve the application for a short-term liquor license submitted by Country Hyundai Inc. for the one-time event on Saturday, December 14th, 2024.
I will second.
And Amy
Yes.
and Natasha.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Kayla.
Thank you.
Item number 6, we have an application for short-term liquor license for very limited DBA Fitzwillies Toasted Owl, Tuesday, December 3rd from 4:30 to 7. This is the United Way reception located at the Northampton Cooperative Bank at 67 King Street, and it is a wine and malt license being sought. Hello, Fred.
Hello.
How are you?
It's good, Natasha. How are you? Hi,
Good,
Annie.
thank you.
Hey,
Amy, it's
Fred.
good to see you. It's been a while.
Good to see you too, Fred.
Didn't we score, Fred?
You got it. You did. I'm
Pretty
impressed.
excited.
Good recruiting committee.
I think so. Well done, Annie, and whoever else is responsible for this.
So anyway, Northampton Co-op is hosting this event for the United Way on December 3rd, 4:30 to 7. I believe it's a private event for I think the staff and some of the donors of the United Way, and they've asked us to cater the event.
Okay, great. I have no questions for you because you run a tight operation wherever you do it. So,
Thank you.
yeah,
I have
Amy?
0 questions as well. I'm ready to make a motion if you would like one.
I am ready.
All right, I would like to make a motion to approve the application for a short-term liquor license filed by Very Limited DBA Fitzwillies Toasted Owl for Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024.
Wonderful. Second.
And Natasha
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
All right. All set. Thanks, Fred.
Thank you, everyone. Have a
Thank
great
you.
Thanksgiving.
You too.
You too.
Yeah.
Item number 7, public hearing on an application for a new annual wine and malt restaurant license with a cordials liqueurs permit for Taipei Hibachi Corporation, DBA Taipei Hibachi, at 1618 Crafts Avenue, and the proposed manager is Kangwan Chen.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good, thank you for coming. Congratulations on the reopening.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're happy to see you open again. I'm hearing really good things.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Um,
So I
So
want to
before we
get
get
a-
started,
Mhm.
I just have to
Oh,
open the public
sorry.
hearing. Just give me one more second.
No.
Make a motion to open
Sorry.
the public hearing.
Second.
Mhm.
And Natasha
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now go ahead, Kangwan. Thank you.
Yeah. So I used to run a Taipei Tokyo, and then we do have a beer and wine license. And then now we reopened that, and I revoked the license. So now I want to get a new one, and then upgrade to the cordial license.
Okay. Are you familiar with the cordial requirements?
Not
Okay,
not yet, but at the beginning, I probably gonna start with a beer and wine,
yeah,
and then
okay,
suck it, and then I start to learning because the information why I want to apply the cordial license is I have my neighbor highbrow Andrew. He's one of my friends, and then he told me he has a cordial license, and then he can sell like more like different wines and then encourage customer to come. Right. So that's why I want to get a cordial license, but I don't have any knowledge for this yet, but I will definitely
Okay.
continue to learn it. But at the beginning, I'm just I think I'm gonna start just beer and wine first,
Yep.
and then once I get into it, and then I will learn from Andrew, and then I will start to to sell more different type of wine in here.
Okay. And if when you get to that point when you're ready for more information about the cordial license, you can ask Amy because she
Okay.
she is well versed in the requirements. And I think you said Andrew Brow was your neighbor who was that?
Yeah,
Highbrow?
he's the owner of the highbrow. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a little bit of a bumpy start with his cordial license, so we'll make sure that you've got all the information that you need.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely make sure I do this right.
Yeah, absolutely. We want you to be successful with it. Okay.
Okay.
Amy, any questions?
I do not have any questions on this one.
Okay. Then is there anybody here for
Which-
public comment on this? I don't believe there is. No. Okay, then Kangwan, are you all set? Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Natasha
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
I'm very happy to move this forward without issue, just with the sort of in the back of our heads, making sure that the cordial aspect of the program is clear, because we want to make sure we're being clear every time we have somebody come apply for one.
Wholeheartedly
Okay.
agree, but
Yeah.
I have no problems moving it forward either.
Okay, great.
Would you like a
to make
motion? I'd like to make a motion to approve the application for a new annual wine and malt restaurant license with a cordials liquors permit for Taipei Hibachi Corp., DPA Taipei Hibachi.
Second.
Natasha
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Item number 8, we have an application for short-term liquor license for the Downtown Northampton Association for Arts Night Out on the following dates: January 10th, 2025, February 14th, March 14th, April 11th, May 9th, June 13th, July 11th, August 8th, September 12th, October 10th, November 14th, and December 12th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the following venues: Pinch, the APE Gallery, 33 Hawley, Michelson Galleries, Coldwell Banker, Forbes Library, Hosmer Gallery, Bang Bang Body Arts, Click Workspace, Thorns Marketplace, Plum, and Assemble. And this is a wine and malt license being sought. Hello, Jillian.
Hello.
How are
Happy
you?
November. I feel like I'm 1 month ahead, but thank you so much for helping me with my dates. I was a little off on my date, so she kept me on my toes.
Okay. Any changes to how Arts Night Out is happening these days?
No changes in terms of how this process works. I think folks are super happy. I think 33 Holly, especially coming, out for 2024 with their new renovation, has really had a lot of success for Arts Night Out. I think this really just helps to provide a little fun and keep people in one place for a little bit longer, to help enjoy the space and the art. It creates a little more culture around the whole thing. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Amy, any questions about this particular event that you are well versed in?
Cannot possibly think of a question that I have to ask. I'm just so excited to be on this side of the screen doing it as opposed to that one.
I feel you on that, But
No,
so-
I'm thrilled.
4 of us have done this before, gone for this license, which is kind of funny.
I'm just thrilled to see it in front of the commission again. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. I think we're ready for a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the application for a short-term liquor license for the Downtown Northampton Association for Arts Night Out on the dates and times listed in the agenda. Can I do that? And at the venues also listed in the agenda.
I will second the motion.
And Natasha
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Excellent. Thanks, Jillian.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Jillian.
everyone. Good to see you all. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Hey, Jillian, before you go, I just want to, since all the dates couldn't be fit into OpenGov, I think I'm going to have to do this license the old fashioned way.
Okay.
So I'll print licenses for every venue. And then next time I see you, I'll give them to you. And then we can go from there.
Okay. Yeah, you can always email me. I can stop by and pick them up and drop them. No
Okay.
worries. Thank
Great.
you so much. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Item number 9, report from the building commissioner on annual liquor license inspections.
Yes, so I am going to read the letter from the building commissioner, although the building commissioner is present. I don't know, Kevin, I don't want to put you on the spot. But if you are here to,
Hello.
I don't know if you want to read the letter or you want to give a report by from
This is
you.
the letter that was in the packet, right?
Yes, it was included. It's just for the record. I would read it.
Okay.
But Kevin, I don't know if you want to say anything. You don't have to, but.
I'm just here to answer any questions that anybody might have about the letter. So if you want to read it, I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, I'll just read it quickly. The building department, along with the Northampton Fire Department, have conducted the initial inspections for the 2025 on-premise annual liquor licenses. We have inspected all 64 on-premise establishments. To date, we have issued 10 certificates out of the possible 64. Each establishment has a list of the violations that they will need to fix in order to receive the certificate of inspection. We are working with them to achieve this. We anticipate that all establishments will have passed inspection before the end of the year. So they're not doing great this year.
No, so that was my question, was I don't think we've ever seen it this bad.
So last year was Captain Solmeyer's first year doing the liquor license inspection, so she was kind of new to it. And the old commissioner, he didn't enforce everything that was supposed to be enforced. So a lot of the issues are minor, like they have storage underneath stairs, they have tables and stuff, storage blocking the electrical panels and stuff like that. A lot of them have lights, extension cords, stuff like that. So there's really no major issues. It's just we're enforcing what we're supposed to be enforcing.
And that's
Okay.
super appreciated. Thank you.
So that's why there's, because Annie questioned that too, that's why there's only been 10 approved so far. Actually, the academy got approved today. They fixed their couple issues, and some of the places have exit signs out, emergency lights out that just have to get fixed and replaced. So there's really no major issues with
Yep.
all the places. It's just they just got to do it in time. And
Yeah,
Great.
and I would think most of these places have been around long enough that once upon a time in the not too far past, the inspections were thorough and these things were expected and they were doing them. So it's not going to be a major headache for
right,
them to figure it out.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's why there's so many past.
Yep. Exactly. So, well, I really appreciate your role and everything. And when you do come to our meetings, it is helpful to for us to know that you're also paying attention to things.
Yeah.
That we're not moving things forward that shouldn't be. And so I just want to say thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And I just want to also say thank you for the sentence in there that you anticipate that everybody will have passed by the end of the year, because the only 10 out of 64 gave me a bit of a heart attack reading it, and with no frame of reference if this is typical or not. So that was
I was so surprised.
that was a good sentence to end the report on, to make me feel like it wasn't
Yeah.
disastrous.
Yep. All right. Very good then. I think we're done with you. You can end
All
your
right.
meeting probably.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Kevin.
Thank
Yeah.
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Annie, are you all set with that item?
Yes.
Okay. Number 10, vote to renew 2025 liquor licenses pending receipt of all appropriate documents. Annual off-premise licenses and annual on-premise licenses.
Yes. So this is pretty straightforward. They all need to be renewed. I'm using the new online permitting system. Some people are very happy with it. Some people are begging me to go back to paper, but we're getting through it. There are 2 licenses that are not in use at the moment. NoHo Social is closed, and Mexicalito is filed for bankruptcy. So the bankruptcy attorney has the Mexicalito license, and their intention is to renew it in order to sell it down the line. I'm not sure what will happen with the NoHo Social license. I don't know if they plan to renew it so they can sell it, or if they don't renew it, and since we're now not over quota, then if they don't renew it, then in January it comes back to the city to reissue.
Okay.
So those are the 2 notable licenses, but I mean either way they have to get renewed by the commission, and then we deal with their issues as they come.
And so the Mexicalito license will be renewed by the attorney holding it.
Yes.
With the exception of Eric's licenses that, the length of time that he had pocket licenses in his situation, what length of time is appropriate, or have we given in the past for folks to sort out selling a license that they're not using?
I think it's typically 6 months is what we've done, and also I think that's what the ABCC has
Okay, perfect.
loosely advised as well.
Okay.
I don't know if Kevin has something to add. He turned his camera back on.
So Mexicalito, Captain Stolmeyer and myself have not been in there to look, so
Oh,
because they were closed, so we couldn't go in there. So if they want to renew it, do you want us to go in there to inspect to make sure everything's good?
So no, because while they're going to renew the license, they're not going to renew it in order to utilize it.
Okay,
Because they filed for bankruptcy, and apparently now the attorney holds the license. I don't know. So they are looking for a buyer for it. But so Mexicalito will not be reopening.
okay.
So there's no need for an inspection there.
okay,
Because I also won't be issuing a license once they renew it. It's just renewing it so that they can keep it in their possession in order to find a buyer.
okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Thanks, Annie.
Amy, did you have a question?
I do. I'm trying to formulate it. For purposes of this agenda item and us renewing the liquor licenses on the commission side, we renew all of them for a year, even though we're having a conversation about, for example, NoHo Social or Mexicalito only holding on to it for like 6 months before we want to encourage them to move on. Do we still include them in this full year renewal? Did that question make sense?
Yes, because, and it's weird because I don't know why we have to have this formality, because by Mass General Law, the licenses have to be renewed in the month of November. So this just has to happen.
Okay.
Even though, I mean, but the commission has the authority at any time to let a license holder know that, I mean, if it's a pocket license, then
Okay.
then they come in
Right.
for a hearing and then it gets taken away.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, I guess you could non-renew. This is the first year that we've been at quota, and we, because of how things shaped out with Eric's licenses, we lost 4 of those licenses to the state because we were like over quota. Now we're at quota, so any license that isn't renewed, we don't lose it to the state anymore. And this is the first year that's happened. So if I guess technically you could vote to non-renew
But if we, sorry, go ahead.
Mexicalito and NoHo Social. And then the licenses would come back from this to the city. But I think in order to do that, we would need to have a hearing to non-renew. So if that's something you wanted to do, you would remove those 2 licenses from your votes today, and then we could have a hearing on them in December, since it's still not the end of the year when they expire. Does that make sense?
It does, but I don't know how you, it feels to me cleaner to just renew and then address it down the line. But
Yeah.
thank you for clarifying that, because I just procedurally didn't really understand. So.
Yeah, no, of course.
And we need a vote on this, yeah?
We need a vote.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
And then I think we're ready for a motion.
I'll make a motion if you would like. I'll move to renew the 2025 liquor licenses pending receipt of all appropriate documents, both annual off-premises licenses and annual on-premises licenses.
Second.
Natasha
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Item 11, vote to renew 2025 licenses pending receipt of all appropriate documents for common victualler, entertainment, auto amusement, inn holder, lodging, and car dealer, class 1, 2, and 3.
So these are pretty straightforward with no real issues as of yet. I'm sure there will be some late renewals, but they always get done.
Yep.
Okay,
Do you have any questions about these ones, Amy?
I do not.
Right.
am
You're
Ready,
for
if not eager to make a motion.
Yes.
I would like to move to renew the 2025 common victualler, entertainment, auto amusement, inn holder, lodging, and car dealer class 1, 2, and 3 licenses pending receipt of all appropriate documents.
I will second.
And Natasha,
Yes.
and I'm so sorry, I'm having trouble with names. Like
I'm Amy.
Amy,
Yes.
thank you. It's just, it's hard for me to multitask and type and not do like the Natasha, Helen, and Jennifer.
Right.
Sorry.
Bear with me.
It's fine. You're doing fine. Item 12, approval of minutes for October 16th. We'll have to put on the agenda for next time.
Ooh, yeah, because Amy, yep,
I was not here.
I will put those on the December agenda.
Okay. New business.
Just briefly, I spoke with Claudio yesterday about, he wants to know what the possibility of him applying for the liquor license that is currently held by the Calvin. I told him I would bring it to the commission and see what they say. I also let him know that with NoHo Social being closed, that he could potentially buy that license. But I thought it was prudent to bring it up to you because the longer it's held, the more questions I'm sure will get asked.
Yep. I mean, I think until we're told by the Bowery that they're not coming, or we decide on a length of time to continue this waiting period, whichever comes first. I feel like we committed that license to them, and I still think it's a really important piece of the downtown puzzle is to keep that available to them. We can't keep it available to them forever because, you know, they're dealing with a non-communicative person on the other side of that situation. So right now I'm willing to hold on a little bit longer.
I would absolutely agree. A question, maybe technical or procedural, when we decide this at these meetings, is it then communicated to the, say, Calvin license holder and or the Bowery? I mean, do they know that
Technically,
we
we're the
are, sorry?
Technically, we're the license holder.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's ours. So, but we would have to, I mean, it's, so the Bowery, they're still at the table, but nobody's talking to them. The person they need to tie
yes,
up with, yeah.
right.
So if they still have the patience to stay in it, I think, I mean, call me Pollyanna, but I think that's a really positive sign, you know, because they
Absolutely.
just said, see you, we're out.
That there is somebody in it, I would love to support that conversation as long as we can, or as
Yeah.
long as feels appropriate.
Right.
So,
right. And maybe when we have the full commission, we can talk a little bit about what we feel is an appropriate length of time. Because I mean, I don't know, I've grown tired of Eric's keeping our hands tied on so much stuff. But this one's tricky. It's big.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
And you haven't heard from NoHo Social, right, Annie? They haven't reached out.
I have not. I heard this information from Kevin, and so I have not heard anything from them.
Okay. All right. Anything else on that topic?
I feel like I just had a fleeting thought and it has now escaped me. No,
Okay.
sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
Next time, maybe.
Oh, yes. So we talked to the mayor, Ian Allen talked to Rep Sabadosa like 2 weeks ago about going for more liquor licenses.
Great.
So that is, I think we're gonna move forward with that. There was a concern about the fact that there actually is one in quota right now that's not issued, which is the Calvin license. So they probably wouldn't look favorably upon giving us more while we still have one available. So I think that would have to be ironed out before we could go for more. And also we're holding one that's designated for Home 2 Suites for the Mansour property on Cons.
And
we have until 3 years to issue that license, so I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens since it's called out in the special legislation that it's going to his corporation and his address. I don't know what happens if the 3 years is up. Where the license goes. I will have to get guidance on that. But
okay. I heard that project wasn't moving forward. Is that just a rumor?
I think he's back to the drawing board because Eversource won't provide gas. Yeah.
Okay. And
I didn't hear that it was dead in the water.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
And the length of time that this usually takes to make it through legislature to get more licenses is, I mean, we're talking like a year before we know anything, right?
Yeah, I think last time it was a little under a year.
Feels like it takes forever.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay. Anything else?
I have nothing else.
Okay. Nice job, Amy.
Yes.
Thanks for welcoming me on board.
Incredible job.
Do we need to do a motion to adjourn?
You've been here forever, it feels like.
I feel like I've sat through enough that this was a good like test of, was I paying attention or did I just disassociate during all of those meetings?
You passed the test, A+. A+.
A+ is right. Would you like to make the motion to adjourn us?
Oh, I will make a motion to adjourn.
I will
Do you need it
second.
more fancy than that? No, great.
And Natasha
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hurrah.
Thank
Great to
you,
see you
guys.
both.
Have
You
a great
too.
Thanksgiving.
Yes,
You
you
too.
too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Talk to you.
Soon.
Bye.